This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Hello, happy Friday. Spirits are high here on the Icon podcast today. Looking forward to the weekend. I don't know what day you're listening on, but if it's Monday, I feel sorry for you. My name is Gianna. I'm the host of the Icon podcast, and today we get to talk to Kim Meeker. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gianna, for having me.
Of course. And we talked a little bit off camera, got to know each other a little bit, which makes it super fun for these episodes. They just seem to flow so much better. So Kim, let's talk a little bit about background, where you from? How'd you find yourself getting into this world of real estate? How was that career, incorporated into your life over the years?
Yeah, so I'm actually, my market is Temecula, California, which is in Southwest Riverside County, right? And we also serve North County, San Diego as well. So that's our market. But I am from the Midwest, and I actually got into real estate actually through the vessel was mortgages.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. That makes sense. And, working through mortgages, you probably worked with several different brokerages. So who was your first brokerage? How was you?
How was you, girl?
How was you introduced? How was you introduced to EXP?
That's a little bit of that Midwest coming out of you right now.
Listen, I've done a lot of podcasts this week. My tongue is tired. Okay. But how did you, get introduced to EXP and break up with that old brokerage, decide EXP was the best for you? What did that transition look like for you in your career?
Sure. So, having the background that I have, one thing, and I found myself, even though I was at my own brokerage before, I just found myself, really hungry for, knowledge. And I'm that's just how I am anyway. Like every day I get up and reinvent myself, truthfully. It's too boring if you don't, right?
Yeah.
But I found myself back in a space of being a lone wolf again, kind of like most of us high producing agents, we just put our heads down and we just crank it out, right? It definitely takes a certain breed to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
But we also, like for me, I need collaboration. Like I have to keep growing. So I started putting my feelers out there, and I was coming from a place of I need to find my tribe. Makes sense? Mm-hmm. And so the tribe in real estate is actually not as big as a lot of agents think it is. Because in our industry, the ones that are producing, those agents that really have the playbooks in the bigger brick and mortar brokerages, their doors are shut. They're not open to other agents that are really looking to find out what the secret sauce is to build their own businesses because they look at them as competition, right? So I was looking to really align myself with people that were bigger and more successful than myself, because I was looking for systems and I'm looking to grow my brokerage with good agents that want to also have a phenomenal real estate business. So in doing it, I'd had my eyes and my sights on EXP for a couple of years, but that's when I chose to dive in really deep, do my research, and really put the plan in place. And I literally I jumped in with both feet,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And Kim, now that you're over here, you jumped in with both feet, knew that this was the best place for you to kind of be the high producer that you are. What is something about EXP that maybe you didn't know about when you made that switch at first, or maybe didn't expect, and now you use every day, or it's something about EXP you really enjoy? Because off camera, we talked a little bit about stock options. There's collaboration, rev share. So what about EXP makes you, or like just keeps you here?
Yeah. Gosh, there's actually, looking back over 2.5 years, I'm going on my 3rd year now with EXP. I can't that's just not a simple answer, right? So, because I know more now, right? If I knew then what I know now, like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? I'm just scratching my head. Why isn't everybody here? That I think what kept me from joining EXP earlier was everybody's bad opinions about EXP. And I was like, wow, well, if they're talking bad about EXP, right, then I need to open up my ears. I need to look into the company, because the people that were talking down about EXP were people that I looked at as being successful. And then I had to think, are you really that successful? But if you're afraid of it, I need to find out more, right?
Yeah.
So, looking at it, I think for me, it had nothing to do with stocks. It had nothing to do with any of that. I wasn't interested in that, because I just want to be around people that are selling real estate. I don't care about recruiting. I don't care. I don't want to be recruited, right? But every brokerage, and I'm going to tell you, when agents bring that up, I'm like, and then how did you end up at the brokerage that you're at? All brokerages recruit. And actually, recruit a lot. They're really recruiting a lot more than EXP ever does.
Listen, to any corporate job too, who is the first person you interview with? Recruiters, HR, recruiters. Like, it's not like, hello, it's just the best way to get told about the company, whether you're in the corporate world, real estate world. So I think that needs to.
Yeah, that's what they do, right? That's what they do. So they have all the information. But besides that, that's what really perked my interest. And not only that, when I would hear that, it would really make me feel, quite sad for that individual, because the people that I knew that were at EXP and are still at EXP are those that were kicking butt and taking names, and anywhere from selling, 50 to 100 transactions to, people that were selling 600 and over 1,000 transactions. Like, oh my God, how are they doing this? Because you're not going to get that in your local brick and mortar brokerage. And then also, you're not going to get it, period. And you're not going to get the collaboration. Now, today we have masterminds we can jump on, here and there, and you get little nuggets, pieces and bits, and you feel like, oh, great for the day. But if you don't implement that information, you're not going to go anywhere. You're no further along. In fact, you could be taken back. So different at EXP is that you're collaborating with people that are literally putting in the work, has a secret sauce. They've either implemented it and have the track record, or they're implementing it to move to the next level. Would you rather be on that train that goes deep and truly collaborates? Or would you rather say, I just jump around from mastermind to mastermind and different meetings and different brokerages, annual meetings. And then I go back to the office and I have a big, thick book, right, of all these notes, but you don't do anything with it. You don't have anybody to hold you accountable. That's what EXP is. It's one big family, truthfully, one big family owned by agents that want to see everybody doing good. And there's no catch.
Right. No, I agree. There's no catch, there's an opportunity to earn your cap back in stock, and just a lot of really
that's just a bonus.
Right.
Working
That's
hard.
Right. But there's no catch in that. Like, you don't have to sell your soul, and you don't have to, they're not going to take away your brand. They're going to encourage you to build it just on the bones of EXP. And that's it's a completely different world. And Kim, before we dive into more about the Icon Award, as we're talking about bonuses, tell me a little bit about you. How do you balance this? You told me you just put your nose down and, sell these homes and you work hard. And so how do you take time to step back and focus on family, friends, yourself, recharging, avoiding a burnout mode?
Oof. That is a constant. It's like doing your daily calendar, waking up and doing what's in your calendar. You have to be mindful. You have to literally, you have to push yourself to do it. And, when it comes to my kids and my husband and our future, that's why I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. And they understand that. I was in real estate and selling homes before I met my husband, and we've been married for 25 years, right?
Yeah.
And so, I raised 3 children moving across the country in real estate. I have, kept a marriage for 25 years, a solid foundation. But my family's always come first. Have I ever felt like the business has taken over? 100%. Have I ever experienced burnout? 100%. Absolutely. But I look at it as I'm growing. That's a growth feel to me. It's not a negative for me. So I just have to step back and, put my family first. You have to be mindful, right?
Right.
And so in this industry, your clients will wipe you out. They will take 24 hours of your time if you allow them to do. And I still do it sometimes too today. I'll get phone calls at 7:00 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning. I'll get text messages at 4:30 in the morning, and I'll get them at 9 and 10 o'clock at night. And they expect for you to pick up your phone. It's the most bizarre thing. Does your heart surgeon do that? Are they going to respond to you? No. Right. So having that work-life balance, there just really is nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it exists. You just have to constantly work on it every day. For me, and something, hopefully somebody can take away this in this podcast, is one of my goals that's on my sheet is to schedule my vacations with my family in advance, a year in advance. Have it done, have it paid for. And it's hard for me to get my family all together at the same time because my kids are older now.
Yeah, no, that's tough for sure.
Yeah. And back when they were younger, all of my children were in travel sports. So Jim and I were traveling, we could be in Northern California, Southern California, Arizona, California, and still running a real estate business at the same time as a solo agent. It wasn't easy. I don't have someone to take care of my kids, right? So you have to be present in that way for your children. And
if only you could hire a virtual assistant to watch your kids, right?
Right.
I mean,
just put them on a monitor.
That's about the only thing we don't offer as Sphere Rocket. A nanny. Anyway, keep going.
You know what though? But you know what? Which, when the kids were younger, I did have a nanny at home. Okay. I also had them in private daycare as well. So the nanny would take them there. And that was a huge help for me. And I had a house cleaner. The only thing I didn't have was a cook, right? That was me and Jim. But that was so helpful. And so, but with a VA, right, a virtual assistant, I could actually have someone like that right now that could schedule, keep my schedule, order my food, order the groceries, because my husband is a very successful business person too. So we could maybe we should talk about that later.
You get a discount for being on the Icon podcast. And
I already have 2 of your VAs. So
still bring it up. But you said he runs his own business too?
So my husband's actually in construction. He's a builder for a big company in Southern California. So
that's awesome. I was just going to bring that up because in case he needs a little bit of an assistance, just for those watching, I'm sure you've heard of this program, but say that you and your husband could both use a VA. You guys are in different realms. You just need some help admin wise. He could do 20 hours of it on his business time. You could do 20 hours of it on your business time. That VA still gets 40 hours between the two of you. You guys are saving a little money. So for somebody watching, you've got a business partner, somebody you work closely with, can't afford a VA full time, but you want to keep them on board for all those hours. That's a life hack. Okay.
Well, I think too that so many people are afraid to give up that control, and they feel like if they give up that control, they're losing, what would you say? Like they're just losing control.
Yeah, no, and they feel like they have to relinquish that. I mean, even our CEO who preaches leverage, right? He still has a hard time relinquishing control. It's just a natural thing when you are a business owner, and to understand that you have to let go of those little things. Like I was telling you earlier, a quote from Skyly that she shared with me on a previous episode was, "You may be the best at it, but if you are the best at it and it's still not getting done, what's the point of it, right? What's the point of keeping control of it if it's not getting done?" So leverage some stuff out that you need to get done, but can't seem to get around to it. And I promise it'll bring a lot of improvement.
Well, yeah, I can do, so this past, so talking about being with EXP and having access to other people's playbooks and what's working for them, that was another part of that, Gianna, that was really important to me because, I'd had previous teams, but I didn't have the support and the growth that I needed from my brokerage, number one. Number two, I found that, even though they were and this is, I loved my brokerage. I still love my broker, my ex-broker to death. I mean, gosh, she was just, just such an amazing, strong person. So let me make it very clear. This is not about any particular brokerage, but what I found, because I had been with a couple of different brokerages, I was with a brick and mortar that was a 35% split with this brokerage. And then, they were taking so much of my commissions and my money that I wasn't able to put it back into my own business. And I was spinning my wheels. Like I felt like a hamster in a cage. I just couldn't get traction. Right.
Right.
We didn't have VAs then, but, I was looking for, maybe even another agent to team up with to try to help me out. And I just couldn't get that traction. Right. And so great brokerage, but for me, I hit a ceiling, right? And then you go to your there's a lot of 100%ers out there, but it's not 100%. There's all these fees that they charge you to still make the amount. And I was doing, I think that year we did like 87 transactions roughly. And when I did the math on the base fees, they were making north of 90,000 a year from my production. And that, I wasn't getting that amount of service. Does that make sense?
Kind of sickening to think how much money you've left on the table for no benefits in return, no really mentorship or help or
mentorship. Like that's massive. And so with EXP, I was like, my God, I get to have access to my 7 top people that are mega producers. I get these books. They're there to help me. It's one big family. Truthfully is. And then let's go into the icon. So, when I'm looking at those or, and even other brokerages where it's at even a 90-10 split, if you're doing north of 25 or 20 transactions, depending on the market that you're in, you're giving that brokerage so much more, but you're still on the bottom. You realize that the brokerages make money from the agents. The agents aren't making money from the brokerage.
Kind of like a pyramid scheme, right? That everybody's so worried that EXP is, but in reality, all the brokerages are, but you are only able to get that cap back from the table at EXP. I think that's the only brokerage that offers that.
Yeah. Truthfully gets it back.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, that's true. And Kim, like speaking of that, let's talk about, the Icon Award and all the benefits that come with that. It's like a 3-part question. Benefits are part 3. So the first question is going to be the production. So what's the average home price look like for you in your market? How many do you have to hit to be able to cap? And then of course there's 20 transactions after that.
Yes. So for me, when I started with EXP, my average price point was 475-ish.
Mhm.
Okay, on an average. So some more, some less. So like I could have a $1 million house, a $1.5 million house, and then have a lot of 300, 400, so
Mhm.
it might, first of all, I think it's important for agents to realize that it's very important in their business to have all of different price points in their pillars.
Mhm.
Don't just go for one specific price point that you feel you're just going to relate with. Like, so if it's a newer agent and they're intimidated by going for that $1 million plus listing, don't be.
Mhm.
Make sure that you're putting all prices into your bucket. That's how you get an average. So it was 475. Obviously, I would say now it's right around 525-ish, 535. Obviously, our prices have gone up, right? So on the production level, so on average, right now, it takes me 6 to 8 transactions to cap.
Okay.
Today. So about 1 month. It takes me 1 month to cap.
Yes.
Right. So in 2019, when I came over, it took me a month and a half, roughly, almost 2 months to cap. Because I think when I came out, I had closed like 4 a month roughly. But now we're closing 7 to 10 a month roughly. So based on that, so to cap, let's just say for easy math, let's just say 6 transactions.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So for me to icon, it's a total of approximately 25 transactions.
Okay.
26, right? 25,
Yeah.
26.
Yeah. Okay. And then, as far as, production, that's a huge factor in iconing, but at the same time, you have to hit this cultural commitment, right? So you can be a mentor, you can coach, teach an EXP world, whatever it is, vet other icons, but what avenue do you take to fulfill that area?
I'll be honest with you, because I have been in growth mode for the last 2 years, and I've just put my face down and have just been trying to knock it out of the park with my production and hit the icon, because my goal is to get back that cap, right? But I've been really focused on building out the brokerage of Meeker Realty Group and bringing on systems and processes. So the last 2 years, even though I've done a lot of personal coaching with other agents, mentoring, with the team and it's kind of taken my time away. So moving into it this year, I am looking to do some coaching. And I definitely want to do some classes within the university to give back to the culture.
Yeah. No, and it's so fun for like building credibility and being able to connect with new, mentees, mentors, whatever it is, out in EXP world that may be watching your training as it goes live, or your training, in a few weeks from now, a couple of years from now, and being like, man, Kim really, is good at this topic. I would love to connect with her on this more.
100%. And that's where we're headed with that too. So we'll be giving back a lot more. And again, remember, EXP is about giving back and the culture and the collaboration. So if you're not depositing back to the other agents, I don't think you're holding up your end of the bargain with the company as a whole. But, for some agents, they just start doing it right out of the gate. For myself, I was in growth mode and bringing myself up to a place where I can focus on that more and then release a lot of the other responsibilities to our VAs and to the team.
Absolutely. And Kim, I think that's incredible. And, with the coaching and the aspects of, aspiring to be more involved in the cultural commitment with EXP, it's what boosts the morale around here. It's what attracts people. There's that sense of mentorship versus a dog eat dog world that you're going to find at other brokerages. And to touch back on some of the benefits of being an icon agent, what is your favorite one? I mean, you get a nice big glass shiny trophy. You have the opportunity to earn your cap back in stock. You get a nice chunk for hitting icon. Then you get some chunks for going to EXPCon and shareholders. And I mean, a great reputation, cute little pins to wear at these big events. I mean, you become so reputable as an icon agent. It is an elite status. So, what's your favorite part about it? Why do you set your sights on that goal each year to icon?
Gosh. Honestly, I think the thrill for me is that it's not about the glass for me, honestly. I don't care about the awards. I do care. I don't mean to sound, like I don't care. Like EXP goes through great lengths to send us the glass, right? And with having more agents icon this year, I think it took me 2.5 months to get my glass. But anyway, I do love having the glass on the desk. Coming from 3 past brokerages that didn't even give you a hoot, and one that was making almost 6 figures.
And I love that they make you pay for the plaques they give you there. I just heard that the other day. If you want a plaque for your award, sure, it's $50. What?
Oh, yeah.
Absurd. Yeah. Keep going, Kim. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, the prior brokerage, I think the year that my last year there, I was I ranked number 31 in the entire country.
Okay.
In production. So I was definitely one of their top elite. And then in the state of California, I was like in the top 7.
Dang, girl.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And while that's great, that's wonderful. I mean, I felt alive, and I just wanted to give back to agents then. But what I like about the icon status is that, again, it's not about the status. Let me make that really clear. But I like the fact that they give back to their agents that are producing. So that encourages you financially, right? Which benefits our families. It can pay for college tuition. It can pay for your next investment property. Like, they're trying to literally give back. And so that aligns with me, because with our team brokerage, our culture is, and the acronym is GIVE. So if I can help you as an agent coming onto my team and help you fulfill your life, pay off your debt, give back to your children, take vacations that you only dreamt of taking, pay for your kids' college tuition, or oh my gosh, buy your first investment property, that makes me so excited. Like, that's where it comes to play, right? And that's what EXP is doing for me, which allows for me to do that for other agents. Makes sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely makes sense.
So yeah, and by the way, shall we share what our cap is on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the cap is $16,000, right? Your every brokerage out there is taking like 20%, 10% off the top, and there's no caps. Or you've got a brokerage that it's a $50,000 cap. Well, when the majority of the office is only selling 15 to 20 homes a year, and they're getting 10 or 15 pieces of glass and no cap, or a cap of 50,000 a year, how long is it going to take that agent to get the $50,000 cap? It's going to take them a long time, and they'll probably never get there, because they're only selling 15 homes a year. So they know that if they give them more glass, they're going to stay. But imagine having your cap back, and then a big portion of that is in stocks. And let's say, where's our stock today? Do you know?
I'm not positive. I didn't check.
It came down, but it got up really high, right? And so, but remember, stocks are the long game, right? So I haven't touched mine. I didn't cash out, but a lot of the agents did, because they were already vested, right? A short 3 years. Yeah. And I know of 3 off the top of my head. I'm not going to say any names on here, but at least 3 that bought multiple properties with that money as investment properties. Multifamily, they bought single family rentals, and I mean, we're talking, they bought properties that were worth $300,000, $500,000 with that money.
Mm-hmm. If you guys go back to Kelsey Wozniak's episode, she was one of my first guests. Her and her husband were able to build their dream home from scratch, get it personally built because of those stock options. How cool is that? Custom built their dream home.
Yeah.
Because of those stocks.
Yeah. And that's not even talking about like recruiting. That's just your own production, right? And so right now with me capping and then iconing, even last year into here, even though the stocks have come down, which is amazing because that's such an opportunity for me. So if I can buy, if EXP gives me my stock, $8,000 of stock that's worth $11 when the market comes back, which it will, because not just the EXP stock is down, you know, my Google is down, you know, my Amazon is down, all my stuff is down right now, right? Netflix, all that stuff is down. You hear what I'm saying? But it's all going to come back. And when it does, that share at $11, because it's going to be, you know, when it goes back up to $85 a share, right?
Right.
You know, we'll be doing things with that money too, right? So that's the way you have to look at it. So it's a business partnership here at EXP. We're all in this together. We all pour into each other together because we understand it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
That's what they say. Once you see the model, you cannot unsee the model. And so ask your questions, you know, research it, do your due diligence, go to the source. Don't ask your broker about it because, of course, they're going to feed you those lies. So ask EXP, get involved here, find your local EXP agent. If you feel like you click with one of the agents on my Icon podcast, reach out to them, reach out to Kim. Everybody's happy to field questions here, whether you make that move, whether you choose them to be your sponsor or not. And Kim, for my next question, you know, for somebody that may be doing the production level and isn't with EXP, or a rookie that's looking to come over to EXP, is it possible for them to icon in their first year, whether as a transplant or a new agent? What are some goals to set for that, mistakes to avoid, again, if it's even possible?
Okay, so there was 4 or 5 questions there.
I think there was like,
I with the first 2. So
is it possible? What are some daily goals? What are mistakes? Just in genuine, I just throw all those out there to try to give you an idea. Like, oh, am I going to talk about, you know, mistakes I went through? Like somebody missed icon by one transaction, so they should have helped that person with $100,000 budget, right? Or just like different things like that, or, you know, little goals. How many important conversations should you be having a day? Just to kind of spark inspiration for you. You don't have to hit all 3 of those topics, but, you know, talk to me about rookies and transplants coming to EXP, looking to Icon.
Let's do that first. Okay, perfect. So if you're a new agent, solo agent, that's coming to EXP and has never been with another brokerage, I feel the first thing that you need to do not get caught up in the web of the learning curve coming into EXP. EXP offers a lot. And so you're going to feel like you're standing in front of a fire hose, but that's why you're coming to EXP, is you're coming here for a reason. You want access to all of this, and all of the training is free. So you have your fast start, you have your university. Just put it down on your calendar each day what you're going to do to move the needle forward and learn. Do as much training as you can and repeat it. Number 1. So make sure that you put in your calendar 2 hours a day to do nothing but training on the system and on your business, right? And then from there, you have to prospect 2 to 3 hours a day. Where do you start prospecting when you're a brand new agent? You know what? It's very simple. You can get a hold of your sphere. If you're not comfortable with that, make sure that you're taking and listening to podcasts that talk about open houses, and just set up your stage in an open house and be committed to doing open houses every single weekend for the next 6 months. You'll probably get out of the gate within 90 days.
And that's awesome advice. You know, check out podcasts, use your resources, lean into your mentors, your upline.
Oh my gosh, and I didn't even bring that up. You got to lean into your upline. Like, you have to do that. That's why It's different here at EXP. Even myself as a senior agent, when I first joined, I had to rely on my upline. You know, I had to rely on those people. So that's number two. If you're an experienced agent coming over from, you know, another brokerage or your own brokerage, or you're bringing your brokerage over, you know, lean in on your upline. That's why they're there. Most of them are out of production, and they're able to help you get up and get going with your business. And again, totally different concept. You're not going to get that in any other brokerage. You're not going to get 3, 4, or 7 people to pick up the phone and help you if you need something to grow your business.
Right. I love that. And, you know, all the help that is within arm's reach here, it's totally possible for you to do it if you're committed to it, right? It's not just going to come to you naturally. Even those who Icon every year have had to put their nose to the grindstone to get that kind of lead pipeline, and they've still got to put in a ton of work.
It's just work, you know, it's called real estate, and you're trying to get into an industry where you can make $100,000 to a couple $1 million a year. And in order to get into that, you've got to be with a platform and a brokerage that has the systems, you know, and you even get a free CRM at EXP. So there's no excuses.
Right. I love that. And Kim, you know, as far as when you were introduced to EXP, you're like, okay, 2 feet in, let's do this. You jumped on board because it made sense for you. But at one point, were you ever skeptical of EXP?
At that point, when I came on, I did feel I was never skeptical at all. In fact, what I did is, again, remember the reason I came here is to surround myself with those that were smarter and more successful than me, to help me get back to the levels that I was previously, that I got myself to, but without the team. So that was a little bit different, because I was still like, I'm not sure if I want to build a team again, or just build myself with admin staff underneath me to support me, and I'll just do the production, right? So I reached out to my upline at that time, my partners, and I just consulted with them, and they were right there for me. You know, Mary Maloney Mary Maloney, Kyle Whistle, and Dan Beer are my partners in business, along with Curtis Johnson and some other people. But I just reached out and got on the phone with them, and they were available to me. And I was super raw with them where I was struggling. And, you know, like Kyle and Whistle jumped on a Zoom with me and just said, okay, look at this, do this. Because when you come over to a new brokerage, whether you're a solo agent, a high producing agent, or you have a team brokerage that you're moving over, or an entire brokerage, like here, EXP fits all models. We have brokerages. I'm not going to say their names, but they're pretty big brokerages, and they're coming to EXP. Why is that? Right?
Success leaves breadcrumbs.
Right. Success leaves clues. But, you know, to be able to tap into that and to be vulnerable, and to just be vulnerable and raw with where you're at in your business. Nobody here judges. We're all here to put out a hand and help you to level up. And that's why you have such big producers here.
Right. Absolutely, Kim. I love that. And, you know, for somebody that is watching and they are skeptical, they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. They think that there's a catch. They see the greener grass. They see these people moving over here, but they also hear things like, hey, it's a pyramid scheme. It's a cult. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. So what would you have to say to those watching that are going through that thought process and that anxiety to make that switch?
Sure. And that's valid. I mean, that's a great question. I'm going to tell you that success leaves clues, you know, and you are, and you know how they say you are the top 5 people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
I feel you are. That's very true. But here, it's not 5. It's more like your whole upline or your partners that you're in business. I don't like using that word, but it's not a bad word. It is what it is. But you use your partners to leverage on, and then your fast forward groups. But, you know, go ahead. Would you just remind me where I was? See, the COVID brain is real.
Kim, it's okay. We're just
like I'm going on here, But what was the last
You're
part
doing
of
a
that
great
question?
job.
I know,
No,
right? I'm like,
we're just talking about getting people to come over to EXP if they're nervous, if they've got that anxiety
the
to
other
flip that
shoe that
cord,
drops.
make
Yes,
that
thank
switch.
you.
Yes.
Holy
You're
cow.
welcome. It's our lucky
Sorry,
for you. It's
guys.
our last question. So
Yeah.
if that brain train's already left the station, we're almost done.
No, it's good. It's good. Thank you. But anyway, so success does leave clues, right? You're the top 5 or 7 people that you come with and your partners at EXP. So tap into that. And then also as well as just know that if you have any questions, there's so much out there. There's so many resources out there for you to, whether it's YouTube or connecting with an agent, an icon agent like myself at EXP. But you are also, if you show me the top people that you collaborate with, I will show you your future.
Absolutely.
And,
yeah, you're right.
And I think that's more powerful than who you hang out with all the time, because I might not always hang out with those that are, aligned with me, where I am in business, but those that I collaborate with are.
And proximity is power, Kim. That was my last question. Like I said, it's been an awesome episode. Do you have anything you want to leave the listeners with before we wrap it up today?
Yeah, just go be good, be a good human, and give back, and just crush it.
Absolutely. I love that. Kim, I look forward to seeing you out at EXPCon in Vegas coming up in October. Yes. And in the meantime, I'm going to sick one of the boys. I didn't know that. Justin, our CEO, is one of your, you're one of the originals because you're his client, which is crazy because it's very rare to have anybody work with Justin directly. So I already kind of told him that maybe we're in the market for adding another VA. So we've got you taken care of there. Let him know you were on the Icon podcast, because if anybody will honor that discount, it's him, because he came up with it.
So funny. You know what? I'll tell you right now too that, if you are looking for, an international team, virtual assistants like we have, our 2 gals that have been with us have been amazing. We couldn't do it without them. We have 4 admins, that are on the team. And we're looking to level up with more. And I just, if you need that help, don't hesitate to reach out to you, to Sphere Rocket, to get that help, and just mainly to just even get a list of what they can do to help you.
Right.
I think most of us don't realize how you can leverage a virtual assistant both personally and professionally. So. Right. Anyway.
And I don't mean to tee you up for this either, Kim. But if you guys have questions and you don't want to be, sold on VAs right away or come straight to us, reach out to some of our current clients, reach out to Kim and see, how she utilizes them in the day-to-day life and how that's changed her production and business. And then come to us to ask, more intense questions of pricing and, where we can find gaps in your business. But if you want a personal reference, fine by us. Word of mouth is the best advertising and, best way to get a lot of your information. So I'd love to have you guys reach out to Kim, reach out to me, reach out to Sphere Rocket VA, and see how you can leverage your life. And Kim, thanks for the plug. That's great. Thanks for the episode. I'm super excited to see you in Vegas, and let me know if you need anything in the meantime.
All right. Take care.
Bye, Kim. Thank you.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success, and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.